name is Zach Seidel, Deputy Mayor Communications for Mayor Karen Bass. Ahead of her first year anniversary of December 12th, Mayor Bass is crisscrossing Los Angeles, highlighting her work on homelessness, safety, business, climate, and city services. This morning, the mayor and Councilman McCosker will highlight improving and expanding city services and action to make Metro safer and more accessible for all over the past year. You will hear from Councilman Tim McCosker, who represents San Pedro in this great district of the 1-5, home of the Port of Los Angeles, a major jobs provider and economic engine for our city. Councilman McCosker is a valued partner in our work to move Los Angeles forward. Following the councilman, you will hear from Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins, who directs the nation's second largest public transportation network that serves the Los Angeles region, working to deliver a world-class transportation experience on buses, trains, bikes, and more. Then we will hear from Metro PIO May Meaton, who will provide remarks in Spanish. Standing alongside me as well are Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure Randall Winston, as well as General Manager of Street Services Keith Mose. And after questions, cameras will be able to get B-roll of the repair of the sidewalk. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mayor Bass.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is very nice to be here on this lovely day in the 1-5. Oh, you want me to pull this down? Okay, I guess it was in front of my face. So right behind me, this broken sidewalk will be repaired this week to make sure that residents in this neighborhood can safely use this sidewalk to get around. It has been brought to my attention that in this area, in the San Pedro area, some of the city's infrastructure is the oldest, which means it needs even more attention. San Pedro's councilman, Tim McCosker, secured $28 million to repair broken sidewalks like this one across the city in the budget this year. And we're just getting started. I want to thank the councilman for his partnership to deliver for the people of San Pedro. Every neighborhood in Los Angeles deserves safe, accessible streets and sidewalks. In my first year, we've urgently worked to improve city services and safety and accessibility of Metro, and today we're releasing data that proves it. We've repaired more than 50,000 potholes and worked urgently to meet unprecedented need that's been caused by storms at the beginning of the year, as well as in August, Tropical Storm Hillary made landfall. We've added 50 people to our illegal dumping teams to proactively address illegal dumping in areas where it's most chronic and have already begun to see the results of this new approach, but we know that there is more work that needs to be done. We've secured $30 million for bus shelters so that in the coming year we can finally start protecting some of our vulnerable Angelenos who are forced to wait in extreme heat. We've hired more than 2,500 Angelenos. They have joined the city family and will create a positive feedback loop because that means more services and less waiting. The progress we've made is important, but there is still so much more to do. Los Angeles is a world-class city that deserves world-class services, and that is what we are working to deliver. So far this year, our city departments have fulfilled more than 2.2 million requests for critical services like bulky item pickups, potholes, streetlight repairs, and so much more. So let me use this opportunity to remind Angelenos to log maintenance requests in My LA 311. You can also do this by calling 311 or going online. The city is ready to deliver for you. This year, we've delivered more than 100,000 services than last year. Part of this is because we have hired. Later this morning, I will attend a graduation ceremony for the Clean LA program to mark another successful cohort that is helping us break down barriers to city employment while fulfilling critical vacancies in our Public Works Department. The Clean LA Jobs program allows workers to gain experience through hands-on training programs in weed and litter abatement so that workers can become full-time city employees with union benefits. We have graduated more than 50 workers this year who have completed more than 1,000 hours of training. For the first time since the program's creation, workers will have the opportunity to join street service department in addition to sanitation, giving our employees more choices and opportunities. This is just one of the ways that we are working to break down barriers to getting hired by the city, and we are hiring across the city. And many of you have heard me all year long talk about the vacancies and the fact that we have good paying union jobs with benefits. And so I have been going around the city encouraging people, come aboard, come work for the city of Los Angeles. Our Board of Public Works held 4 job fairs across the city. I joined Councilwoman Hernandez at the most recent Elysian Park job fair, where more than 800 Angelenos attended and explored potential jobs with our city's departments. This work to expand the city family must continue. And again, I want to thank the council member for his leadership as the chair of the personnel department for helping to find solutions to fill these critical roles. Earlier this year, I signed an executive directive to take action in order to deliver services faster, at a higher quality, with better results for our neighborhoods and communities so that we can continue delivering on this promise. I also want to talk about an area that impacts every Angeleno every day, that is service in and of itself, and that's Metro. During my first year on the board of directors of Metro, and since becoming board chair in July, we focused on increasing safety for riders, supporting unhoused riders, improving services, and preparing the region to welcome the world in 2026 and 2028 with the World Cup and the Olympics. The livability of this city is of utmost importance, and we have made great strides to improve Metro and other city services that millions of Angelenos depend on every day. I want to thank Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins for partnering with me on this. We will continue this momentum and work to assure that we are addressing the needs of Angelenos. Let me now welcome the council member from the 1-5, Tim McCosker.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayor. My name is Tim McCosker, and I am the councilman of the 1-5. We call it 1-5 because it's one district, 5 beloved communities, representing Watts and the Gateway and Harbor City and Wilmington and my hometown of San Pedro. We're in San Pedro this morning with our great mayor talking about these essential city services. And I want to speak first, though, about who provides those essential city services. Our essential city workers, which is why we work. We just love and appreciate these women and men. And we also are aware that we have great vacancies across many of our departments, all of our departments actually. And on the mayor's first day at her inauguration, she said, come work for us. And I thought to myself right there, I want to be chair of the personnel committee because I want to work with the mayor on closing this gap on employment. And so I am really honored that with the mayor's support and her leadership and the leadership of our office, we've had 3 of those job fairs in the 1-5. And we've had 2 of them alone in Watts, where we have high unemployment rates. And we've had 1 in Wilmington, where we also have great need for jobs. And what we have found is that these are not only great jobs and great opportunities for folks, and folks want them, but there are many barriers to employment. And there are barriers that should not exist, which is why later today our office is doing an expungement event. Yes. And we're doing it in Watts to make sure that we can help people clean up their records, working with the DA and working with attorneys who are lending their services to make sure that we can clean up people's records for minor things so they can come in and help us do this work. Because you don't fix a sidewalk just by putting money in the budget. You fix a sidewalk with having women and men who can do the work. And as we look over at this sidewalk, I wish this were unique and unusual in our neighborhoods, but it's not. We have lots and lots and lots and lots of broken sidewalks and overgrown trees. The sidewalks, curbs, streets, and gutters and the conditions of our neighborhoods really need some attention. And the mayor is right when she says that one of the oldest neighborhoods in Los Angeles is right here in San Pedro. It's not this neighborhood. It's what we call below Pacific. And we've been really, really focused on making sure that we are looking at some of our oldest infrastructure to make sure that we can repair it. And we've been focused there with the mayor's assistance and with the great women and men of the department. For example, later this weekend, these crews are working overtime. I don't think people know that our street services is working 7 days a week. A lot of overtime. And this weekend alone, I'll say to my CD15 community, on 8th Street from Mesa to Pacific, which is one of our oldest neighborhoods, is getting a bunch of street repair, a bunch of tree trimming that is absolutely necessary for health and safety of our neighborhoods, to make sure trees don't come down, make sure people can see stop signs and stoplights. And as I go around my community particularly, I hear over and over and over again, we appreciate what y'all are doing, but don't forget basic city services, sidewalks, streets, curbs, gutters. That's the measure of whether or not a community is safe for a young parent to stroll a baby down the street, or one of our older adults to be able to get to church. So we are really, really focused on this, and I will tell you the most important tool that we all have is 311, right, Mayor?
That's right.
The 311. Think about this. You know how we all like to do to-do lists? 311 in my community is my to-do list every day. So get out your phone, get the app. When you see it, report it, and give me a to-do list every single day. 311, it's a to-do list. It's longer than I can accomplish today, but we are all working to making this government more efficient so that we can actually finish our to-do list. And we all have the stress and anxiety of going to bed and realizing we didn't finish everything we're supposed to do. Everybody on council and the mayor, we all feel that way. But we are working to make sure that we can get to our to-do list. And one of our to-dos is to make public transportation affordable and safe and healthy for everyone in our community. And I have had the privilege and the honor of riding our system, the system that serves CD15, with our CEO, and she is a great partner to the city of Los Angeles, and she's also a great public servant. When I rode with her the Silver Line to Watts one day, folks on the system were recognizing her and thanking her for working so hard to make this a safer system. So I'm really honored to be in partnership with and to introduce Stephanie Wiggins, our Metro Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Mayor Bass, who's serving as our chair of Metro this year, for inviting me to really share in this milestone. You know, 2023 is serving to be the warmest year on record for the planet. And there's no better time to really, as the mayor has been saying all year long, to lock arms with our partners in government to really do whatever we can to address the climate crisis. I am grateful for the partnership with the Bureau of Street Services, with Keith Mosey, and really going to be able to partner on accelerating the delivery of bus shelters. We are grateful for the partner with LADOT on expanding bus-only lanes. We now are up to more than 50 miles of bus-only lanes in 2023. I am grateful for Los Angeles Unified School Districts and all the charter schools in Los Angeles who have opted in to our Go Pass program, providing over 16 million of free trips in just 2023 alone. I am grateful for the council, like Councilman McCosker in the 1-5, to really not just talk about policy changes, but really walk it, to use the service, to help me and our board and my over 11,000 employees really understand what difference we need to make to ensure that not only do we get the basics right, but we provide quality services. So I'm just really delighted to be here because the culmination of the last 11 months or so, and knock on wood for December's numbers, but we are in the middle of 11 consecutive months of year-over-year ridership. Why is that important? The mayor talked about the intention to get back to basics on ensuring we provided a safe system. The efforts that we have had underway are showing results. We now have a reduction in system-wide crime of over 43% since April, which was our highest peak in reported crime on our system, and we're getting better every day. We've expanded the number of homeless outreach teams on our system. We've more than tripled them to make sure we can also connect people with services. We're just really grateful for the opportunity and the partnership, and we know locking arms works, because we got the news last week. It's official. We are number 2 in the country of the highest ridership, 280 million trips over the last 12 months. Thank you, Mayor, for your partnership. Thank you for your leadership as chair, and look forward to continuing to partner with you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Now I'll bring up May to do a little bit of translation.
Buenos días. Bueno, voy a leer los comentarios de nuestra CEO Stephanie Wiggins en español. Van a ser un poquito diferentes, pero vamos. Buenos días, muchas gracias a la alcaldesa Karen Bass. Quiero comentarles que los viajes de metro han incrementado cada mes desde que ella se unió a la Junta y estamos casi más arriba, casi de los niveles de viajes prepandémicos. Cada día suben a nuestros trenes más de 950, tenemos más de 950 abordajes diarios. Hemos abierto también 50 millas exclusivas para Bass a lo largo de la región y hemos contratado a más de 1,000 conductores para reducir el problema de la escasez de choferes que teníamos. Eso también ha reducido las cancelaciones en los viajes en 1%. Hemos apoyado también a las personas sin hogar de nuestro sistema, agregando 16 grupos de alcance y ahora son 24 en total. Desde julio, Metro ha ayudado a que las personas sin hogar encuentren casa. El número es de 527 personas. También, desde que abrimos el conector regional en abril y en junio, hemos agregado 3 nuevas estaciones en Los Ángeles. Y esto ha hecho de que las personas no tengan que realizar diferentes abordajes, sino puedan viajar de un solo tirón desde Long Beach a Azusa o desde Santa Mónica hasta el este de Los Ángeles. También agradecer a las personas que utilizan el Go Pass, que son nuestros estudiantes desde pre-kinder hasta el grado 12 y colegios comunitarios. Se han provisto 60 millones de viajes gratis con este pase durante el 2023. Queremos también recordarles que Metro está comprometido en ofrecer un servicio de calidad y seguro. Estamos mejorando y queremos mostrar resultados. También estos últimos días nos dijeron que éramos la segunda agencia de transporte con más abordajes en el país. Queremos continuar este momento y estamos trabajando para asegurar que estamos haciéndonos cargo de estos problemas con urgencia. Gracias.
All right, thank you very much. Before we open it up for questions, I just want to preview the rest of the day for the mayor. At 11 a.m., the mayor is going to speak at a Clean LA graduation, as she mentioned. That'll be at City Hall. And then at 3, the mayor will be in Van Nuys to visit a water reclamation plant, which will establish a new resilient and sustainable drought-proof supply of water for more than 250,000 Angelinos, and we'll talk about climate accomplishments. Again, I want to highlight 3 points from the remarks earlier. More than 2,500 Angelinos have been hired this year. Los Angeles has delivered 100,000 more services this year than last year. And as CEO Wiggins said, Metro ridership has increased every month. And again, none of this would be possible without locking arms, delivering for Los Angeles with elected leaders like Councilman McCosker. And with that, we will open it up to questions. First question.